It's always difficult to imagine some reality TV stars having a life outside what we see on television. Viewers often feel some kind of connection with the characters that they see on television, and it grows to be some kind of obsession.
So I called my gun guy, Alex, because let's face it, grabbing your gun, turning it this way, pouring powder down it, with the ramrod and everything else like that, it was slow.
One of such characters that fans have grown connected to is Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars. Being good at what he does, he brings life into the show and has been a major player in its success. From his humble beginnings to the glitz of reality TV, Rick's story is one of family, challenges, and a whole lot of haggling. So grab a seat and let's get down to business. Rick Harrison was born Richard Kevin Harrison on March 22, 1965, in Lexington, North Carolina. His early life was not exactly the picture of Las Vegas glamour we know today. His father, Richard Benjamin Harrison, often called the Old Man on Pawn Stars, had a colorful past himself, including serving in the Navy and opening a small business. Rick's mother, Joanne Rue, wasn't as prominent on the show, but she played a significant role in Rick's life, which we'll get to later in the video. One of the best things that Rick's fans love about him is how knowledgeable he is about many items that come into his shop, especially as it relates to history. Well, there is kind of a backstory to Rick's interest in research, and it dates back to 1967 when his parent moved to San Diego. By then, young Rick was only 2 but started facing some serious health challenges that rendered him inactive at intervals. He developed an epilepsy and, as a result, was always required to remain indoors resting. He formed the habit of reading during this time, which was the beginning of his fascination with research. He found a way to make the best out of what was a bad situation. This became a skill that would carry him through life, contributing largely to his later success. Later on, Rick managed to get into school while managing his condition and went ahead to enroll in Taft Middle School, where he managed to remain active till 10th grade. In the years that spent reading books, he got to learn certain things about life and started applying them early enough. Consequently, Rick dropped out of school during his 10th grade to give the business he had then his 100% attention. Turns out Rick was making quite a fortune from selling fake Gucci bags. Reports have it that he was making about $2,000 weekly from this trade. Once you know about this, then you will have to wonder less about how he got so good at having things together at the pawn shop. He always knew how to get the best deals. Luckily for Rick, the future had so much more in stock for him, and he was just right on track. By 1981, Rick's family had to move once again, and they moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, when he was a young boy. It was in that same year that his father took a shot at starting something for himself, which was the birth of the gold and silver pawn shop. As you would expect, running a business wasn't always easy, and Rick, then in his teenage years, found himself working alongside his father, learning the ropes of the pawn business. It was a crash course in negotiation, evaluation, and the sometimes seedy underbelly of the pawn industry. While they were in Vegas, one thing led to another, and Rick's girlfriend became pregnant when he was only 17. Luckily for the two, Rick started making some money for himself a while ago, and they both started making plans to get married. His girlfriend's name was Kim, and she unfortunately had a miscarriage before they could get married. But the two loved each other and went ahead with the marriage anyway. Rick got married to Kim in 1982, and they had a son, Corey, on April 27, 1983. Adam soon followed just 2 years later. Sadly, the marriage didn't last, as the couple started having issues just shortly after Adam was born, and they divorced in 1985. A few years after the divorce, Rick married his second wife, Tracy, who worked together with Rick, especially when it came to raising Corey and Adam. All the while, Rick was still focused on helping in his father's small business, which was beginning to gain some traction then. Those early days at Gold and Silver weren't all filmed for reality TV. The shop wasn't a roaring success initially. Rick and his dad faced the harsh realities of running a small business, navigating a competitive market, and dealing with customers who might be desperate or even deceptive. Buying and selling items was always a big risk, It was either a good buy with a profit or an outright loss for the shop. You just had to be sure of what you were buying to resell. As a survival instinct, Rick discovered a talent for spotting valuable items and driving a good bargain. He honed his appraising skills and developed a keen eye for historical artifacts. Despite the challenges, Rick and his father persevered. The gold and silver coin shop slowly began to gain traction. They expanded their inventory, catering to a wider range of customers, and built a reputation for fairness and expertise. They also embraced the changing technological landscape, transitioning from paper records to a computerized system for managing their inventory. The growth of the shop from an ordinary buying and reselling shop to a pawn shop was quite a journey. It was all worth it in the end when they got their pawn license and were able to expand their operation. The shop was originally situated in Las Vegas Boulevard South, but as things began to look good for them, they decided to get a store in Fremont Street. And of course, things are rarely as they seem in business, and it wasn't long before they had to move again, following the loss of their lease on the shop. All the while, as we later learned from Rick, his father has always looked forward to making the shop a pawn shop and was in pursuit of the license. By 1989, after skipping some legal hurdles, the Harrisons were able to get the license and immediately expanded the business. Las Vegas is known as the home for gamblers and was a major factor in the progress of gold and silver pawn shop. Stranded gamblers will often come into the store to sell items in exchange for some money. Luckily for the Harrisons, they were able to secure a spot at 713 Las Vegas Boulevard South, which is really close to the Las Vegas Strip. So, getting customers into the store wasn't a hassle. The year 2009 marked a turning point in Rick Harrison's life. A team from a production company approached Rick and his father about a reality TV show centered on their pawn shop. Initially skeptical, Rick eventually agreed, and Pawn Stars was born. The show premiered on History Channel in 2009, instantly becoming a pop culture phenomenon. Gold and Silver Pawn Shop first got a shot at television in 2003, when they featured in Insomniac with Dave Attell. The Harrisons saw potential and started making moves to get their own television show. However, their efforts didn't yield much in the beginning. However, if we have learned anything so far, it is that Rick is never one to give up on his dreams. They kept pushing until 2008 when they caught the attention of Brent Montgomery and Colby Gaines. They were producers with Left Field Pictures and did pitch an idea for a show to HBO, and Gold and Silver was to be the set. The show underwent several modifications over the years, and the format that got stuck was introduced by Nancy Dubuque from History Channel. The show started the educative side, where experts came in to evaluate items and give the backstory that comes with it. At first, the proposed title of the show was Pawning History, which carries the idea behind the show. But later on, due to marketing advantages, they settled for Pawn Stars, and that has been the name of the show ever since. Pawn Stars wasn't your typical reality show. It offered a fascinating glimpse into the world of pawning, showcasing the unique items that walked through the shop doors, and the often hilarious interactions between Rick, his father, his son Corey, who had also joined the family business, and their friend Chumley. Rick's quick wit, sharp negotiating skills, and historical knowledge made him the show's breakout star. He became known for his catchphrases like, "Let's make a deal," and "I know what I got." Pawn Stars' success propelled Rick Harrison into the spotlight. He found himself recognized on the street, interviewed by major media outlets, and even appearing in other television shows. The show also brought financial security and allowed Rick to expand his interests, like collecting historical artifacts and classic cars. Rick has been estimated to be worth upwards of $9 million, being profits that he has been able to get over the years. Rick Harrison's impact on Pawn Stars can't be overstated. He wasn't just a cast member, he was the driving force, the charismatic leader who made the show a global phenomenon. With the old man down with age, Rick basically ran the store. The old man provided insights when needed, especially as it concerned classic rides, and also helped Rick chide Chumley whenever they thought he might have done something that would make the store take a loss. Rick brought a wealth of experience to the table. Having grown up in the pawn business, he possessed a deep understanding of how to value items, negotiate deals, and spot fakes. This expertise was on display in every episode, educating viewers about the intricacies of the pawn world. He could analyze a Civil War sword or a rare baseball card with equal skill, captivating the audience with his knowledge and passion for history. Ordinarily, one would expect shows like this to just appeal to collectors, but they adopted the educational and entertaining part of the show as well. You could just spend your day learning new things and never get bored. Most importantly, they were instrumental in promoting the pawn industry. For their efforts over the years, the National Pawnbrokers Association gave Rick an award as Pawnbroker of the Year, as a recognition for the awareness he was creating about the industry via the show. Outside of knowing a lot about history, Rick's negotiation skills were also legendary. He could turn a seemingly mundane haggle over a dusty record player into entertaining television. His catchphrases like, "Let's make a deal" and "I know what I got" became synonymous with the show. He wasn't afraid to walk away from a deal he felt wasn't fair, showcasing the importance of sticking to your guns in business. As much as the Pawn Stars were in to make money, they never failed to alert those who might have underpriced their items. Rick was really good at this. After such deals, you can just see how happy their customers are from their countenance as they walk away with their spoils. This has helped promote credibility on the show. Beyond his business acumen, Rick possessed a natural charisma that resonated with viewers. He was quick with a joke, always ready to banter with his father, son, and most especially Chumley. His witty remarks and playful barbs provided a comedic counterpoint to the serious business of pawning. He didn't shy away from self-deprecating humor, making him a relatable figure despite his success. Rick's love of history permeated the show. He wasn't just interested in making money. He had a genuine passion for unique artifacts and the stories they held. In fact, he had quite a collection himself. He could explain the significance of a World War II helmet or a vintage movie poster, sparking viewers' curiosity and appreciation for the past. His enthusiasm for collecting encouraged many to explore their own hidden treasures. Pawn Stars wasn't just about Rick. It was about his family. His dynamic with his gruff father, the old man, was a constant source of entertainment. Their playful disagreements and contrasting personalities added a layer of authenticity to the show. The inclusion of his son, Corey, also known as Big Hoss, demonstrated the generational aspect of the pawn business. Viewers watched Corey learn the ropes from his father, creating a sense of continuity and family legacy. Rick's contributions extended beyond the four walls of gold and silver. He frequently appeared in interviews and promotional events, boosting the show's profile. He even participated in spin-off shows like Pawn Stars, Chumley Takes on the World, adding to the Pawn Stars universe. His involvement helped solidify the show's place in pop culture. Rick Harrison's impact on Pawn Stars is something to remember. He transformed a niche business into a captivating television program. He educated viewers about the art of the deal and the value of historical artifacts. He entertained them with his wit, wisdom, and family dynamic. Pawn Stars wouldn't have achieved its global success without Rick's dedication, expertise, and undeniable showmanship. While the show's future remains uncertain, Rick Harrison's legacy as the face of Pawn Stars is secure. Despite the seeming friction he had with characters like Chumley, he was supportive of his crew and helped nurture them to become the best version of themselves. Even when Chum battled with the law sometime along the line, he didn't give up on him. Chum has been able to get back on his feet and has even opened his own candy shop right next to the pawn shop. Of course, fame and fortune don't come without their challenges. Rick's personal life continued to be a roller coaster, though it was impossible to tell with how cheerful he always seemed on the show. Remember his second wife, Tracy? The relationship didn't quite work out as they planned, and they both went their separate ways. He later engaged to Deanna Burdett in 2012, and the two soon were married the following year. The wedding was beautiful, involving his crew from the show. As good things hardly last, Rick got divorced once more in 2020, but wasn't willing to give up on love just yet. He met Amanda Palmer, and they got married in 2021. Outside problems that Rick had with his marriage, some other really tragic events happened over the years the show has been on television. Going through these challenges, you can only end up admiring Rick's resilience and ability to hold it all together. For starters, 2018 brought a devastating blow to the Harrisons as a whole. Rick's father, the old man, passed away in June of that year. This loss deeply affected Rick, as his father had been not only his business partner, but also a close friend and mentor. The loss wasn't just for the family and crew. Viewers who have come to love his input over the years surely missed him a lot. As Rick navigated his grief, another challenge emerged in 2022. A legal battle arose between Rick and his mother, Joanne Rue. She claimed Rick had tricked her into signing over her majority ownership of the gold and silver pawn shop. The situation became quite public when the case went to court, and they have been battling ever since. The details are still being sorted out, and we hope this doesn't leave a dent in their family's relationship. Adding to the challenges, the COVID-19 pandemic hit in 2020. Like many businesses, especially those that depended on walk-ins, gold and silver faced significant hardship. Tourism, a significant source of customers for the shop, plummeted. Rick had to navigate the economic downturn, adapt his business practices, and find ways to keep the shop afloat. Despite the obstacles, Rick Harrison has shown remarkable resilience. His marriage to Amanda Palmer must have been a huge relief for him, having someone to navigate all these hurdles with. He continues to run gold and silver, even appearing in spin-off from the main show. He also maintains an active presence on social media, engaging with fans and sharing glimpses into his life. Sadly, Rick was in for another shock in his life, which just happened recently. Just in January of this year, 2024, Rick experienced another devastating loss. News broke that his son, Adam, passed away from what was ruled as an accidental drug overdose. Rick later confirmed that it was a fentanyl overdose. This tragedy undoubtedly shook Rick to his core. We hope that he recovers from this soon enough. Despite the turmoil in his personal life, Rick found some stability in his professional life and his relationship with his son, Corey, who is starting to take charge of the shop. Pawn Stars continued its successful run, consistently ranking among History Channel's top programs. Rick also found solace in his passion for history, particularly military memorabilia and rare artifacts. Rick Harrison's story is one of perseverance, business savvy, and a dash of reality TV magic. Through thick and thin, he has remained a constant presence on gold and silver and in the hearts of Pawn Stars fans. While he has faced personal and professional challenges, he continues to move forward, carrying the legacy of his father and the spirit of the pawn business. What the future holds for Rick Harrison remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: his journey has been, and continues to be, remarkable. We believe this video must have answered any question you have about Rick, and we would love to hear what you have to say about all that has been going on in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.